welcome back to another lesson for the flamenco guitar. I'm Ben Stubbs, and we've been working on the Rumba Flamenca in A minor in this series, and we're about to wrap it up in the next 3 episodes. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to do a bar chord of A minor and D7, and interject a nice picado falseta in between those 2 chord changes. So, without further waiting, let's get started. Vámonos. Okay, so our first movement for the fretting fingers is the first finger along the 5th fret holding a bar chord. Now, a quick tip on these bar chords that you do. You want to play all the strings and test it out. You want to basically see that you're holding down firmly all the strings. So, if we go through 6th string, 5th string, and then 4th string, something's not right. So that means we need to press harder on that section of the finger. In this case, it's around this knuckle, between this knuckle and this knuckle right here. And I achieve that just by flexing out the finger and making it flatter. Okay, so that's number 1 tip for those cejilla bar chords. Make sure that all the strings are being held down firmly. So our first note that we play is A, okay? And our next one is A, also on the treble strings this time. And then next, B. Now as for the playing fingers, this is thumb, P, middle, M, and then I. Those are the first 3 notes. P, M, I. And in this case, I recommend that you start with your M finger. I think it's pretty important to start this falseta off with your M finger. And then the next 4 notes are, which are played by M, I, M, I. If we put all those notes together, and notice also that my playing fingers are resting on the other string. So after I strike the first string, I'm resting them on the 2nd string. And as I strike the 2nd string, I rest them on the subsequent 3rd string. That brings us to our next chord, which is D minor. Or you can play as D7 if you'd like, removing the 4th finger. This D minor chord is conveniently located along the 5th fret, so you can keep your cejilla bar chord down. All you need to do is remove your 3rd and 4th fingers down this way to the next string and add your 2nd finger on the 6th fret along the 2nd string. It's within this D minor chord that we start our rhythm, which is down thumb and then a golpe with the A finger, up index, down index. Let's do those again. Thumb, up, index, down, index. We repeat that pattern also for our D string, up, index, and down index. And then for the octave, and then down thumb. What you get all together with that is, once again, and then we do our picado. Same pattern as I showed you before with the A minor. And then go down, back to the A minor chord. And let's fret it like this. 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and then the 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And of course, we've got our 1st finger barred cejilla along the 5th fret, playing all strings. And then what we want to do is play the rhythm down there. So if we come back again from D minor, where we left off, now do our rhythm, the same kind of rhythm in A minor. So my striking pattern in between D minor and A minor is relatively the same, just different strings that I'm hitting with my thumb. The D minor, I'm hitting the A string, and the D, and the G string, and the A minor, I'm hitting the E string, A string, and the D string. So after we've done the rhythm for the A minor, comes our next picado. A little bit of a stretch here on the 4th string, so let's go over that. Hold your bar chord here on the 5th fret, and then strike 2nd string, 6th fret with the 2nd finger, take it off again, 3rd finger here on 7th, and then stretch all the way over to our 9th fret on the D string. And you try during this whole section to hold down that A note as you strike these notes, which is not very easy. You have to hold down that cejilla finger quite tight, and it may take a few days of practice to really get those buzzing notes out of the way, and that's okay. Then our next chord is E7, which is an open E, And then next is another E. This is played on the 7th fret of the 5th string. First finger here on the 6th fret of the D string. Third finger on the 7th fret of the G string. And then open B. And then 4th finger on the 7th fret of the E string. We're going to retain that same rhythmic pattern for this E7 chord. And as we hit that last note, that E, we're going to take our second finger, which is already planted on the 7th fret of the 5th string, replace it with our third finger, and then do a hammer-on to the 8th fret, and then 7, 5. Now a chromatic scale down from 8, 7, 6, 5. We want to have a dynamic like this, soft to loud once we get to that 5th fret. Then we fall back into our A minor bar chord. And then we finish out with an open E and the same falsetta that I showed you in the last lesson, which is D sharp. And then okay, so let's give it a run through at 60 beats per minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a little bit faster at 76 beats per minute. Here we go. 3, 4. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And a special thanks to our producers over at patreon.com/flamenco for you, where you can get all your tabs, backing tracks, and more. Until the next time, take care.